So this is my report, just resume is right. So here I'm going to, if you are previewing the report, category bikes year 2005. Right, so I'm going to add one more. So instead of this one, I want to take new report. It's better. So what do we do? Functions. Data source. You share data source. Adventure box. Click OK. And data set. You share data set. Okay. Click OK. And take one table report. Go to toolbox. Table report. And assign the data set here. Category, subcategory, product, order quantity, order year. Make it formatting, background color. Okay, so if you're previewing this one, okay, right. So here I'm going to write down one condition. Okay, so that condition is one more column I'm going to add, conditioned column. Okay, so inside this you can write down many functions. Go to expressions. If you observe here, there are common functions tab is there. Okay, inside this you have a lot of functions. See, text function, text related functions. Okay, and date related function. For example, the same way in SQL Server we have written so many functions, right? Date add, date diff, date part functions. You can write down the same functions here. Okay, and date serial, date string. Okay, and month name if you want to find out, and if you want to find out the hours, if you want to find out the seconds, if you want to find out display the current time. Okay, you can display now. So you don't worry about this syntax and what is the usage of this function. If you see here, whenever you are clicking on a particular function, it is giving the description here, what exactly, what is the usage of this function, and example also it is giving the for the syntax. Okay, so you do not to worry about these functions. You can easily understand and you can easily learn these functions. Okay, every function, not only this function. If you have every function, it is giving some sample. Yes, if you are doing like this way, it will give the value and the usage of this function description here. Okay, right. So there are three functions: choose function, IAF function, switch function. So what exactly these functions are doing? The switch function means, for example, I'm going to write down one condition here. Go to fields. So I want to write down on categories. Okay, switch fields category dot value equal to bytes. I want to display this is 1. Okay, and the same way this is equal to clothing. I want to display 2. Okay, the same way you can write down many more conditions. Equal to components, well, 3. Like clothing components. The next one is accessories. 4. Okay, click OK. If you're previewing this one, see, this is bikes. This is bikes. That's what is displaying 1. Is clothing. That's what is displaying 2. For accessories, it is displaying 4. So what exactly this condition is doing? So go to expression. If the fields category value equal to bikes, then I want to display it is a 1. If fields category dot value equal to clothing, it is displaying 2, like a case when condition. Okay, case when this category field equal to bikes, then it is displaying the value 1. So this is a switch function. The switch function, which value it is satisfying, it will move to that condition. Okay, so that is about the switch function. So instead of using this switch function, if I'm going to use IAF function, so this IAF function already we have used, right? For example, see, what is this? Returning one of two objects depending on the evaluation of the expression. Okay, right. So here if you see the example of this one, IIF. Okay, this is the column. Yearly income equal to yearly income equal, sorry, greater than 60,000. Okay, for example, the yearly income of a particular employee is greater than 60,000, then it is satisfying. It is the condition is satisfying. It is displaying the first value, that means high. Right, if that particular employee yearly income is less than 60,000, that means the condition is not satisfying, then it will display the second column, second value, that is low value. Okay, if it is satisfying, it will display first one. If it is not satisfying, it will display second one. So I'm going to write down IAF. So this one now we are going to write down on order quantity. For example, order quantity less than 2, then I want to display, or greater than 2, high, or low. Got it? Click OK. High low, because this is less than 2, this is greater than 3, that's why it is displaying that value. So in that scenarios you can use the IAF function. Okay, right. And one more function we have, running value function. So here these are all the aggregate functions: average, count, distinct, sum, max, minimum. So whatever the functionalities you have in SQL Server, all functions you can write down inside the SSRS, but try to write down in SQL query only, because if you are writing more functions inside this SSRS, the performance will degrade. Okay, right. So what about this running value function? For example, if you want to add the order quantities one by one with the recent value, see like this way. See, this is 1, right? So the order quantity is 1. So this is 3. 3 plus 1, 4. So 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 1, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. So in this way, if you want to add the running value, so how to do this function? We can write down like this way. So I'm going to write down here only. Right side. Under aggregate functions, running value function uses a specific function to return a running aggregate of the specific expression. Okay, running value function. First you have to write down on which column you are going to run this one, and what kind of aggregation you are going to do, that is summing, or you can count also. Okay, and under which data set level you are going to use, that is scope level. Okay, the scope is data set 1. Okay, right. So the running value function, just double click here, it will come. And on which column we are going to do this one? We are going to do one order quantity, comma, sum of, comma, the scope is data set 1. Your data set is data set 1. Close the bracket, click OK. The value expression from the text box has been scope parameter that is not valid for the aggregate function. Okay, right. I don't want to take anything here, nothing. See, it is adding the values: 1, 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. So this is adding the running aggregate. Got it? Right. For example, some of the functions are, if you are not finding the sum of the functionalities, if you want to write down your own function, so in SQL Server we have written some SQL functions, right? User defined functions. The same way, if you want to write down a function inside this SSRS, where you can write down, so that you have to write down the VB code, Visual Basic Code you have to write down. Okay, go to report properties. Sorry. Okay, so under these report properties, go to code here. So you have to add that your code. Okay, I have some sample code here. Okay, we'll see what this function is doing. Okay, the function name is change word. Okay, click OK. Right, I'm going to add one more column here. So inside this I'm going to write down the function. So you are calling these normal functions like directly you are writing the function name, but whenever you are calling your customized functions, you have to write down code dot the function name. Function name is change word. And what is the value, what is the field you are going to pass? For example, I'm going to pass category. We'll see whether it is executing or not. See what it is doing. It is displaying the, it is replacing a value, right? What value it is replacing? Go to the code, report properties, under the code. So if you are giving by, okay, it is replacing that string with bicycle. Okay, it is replacing a bike. For example, if you are giving the bike inside and it is replacing with bicycle. Okay, wherever in your category column, if it is finding bike, then immediately it is replacing with bicycle. Or I want to replace with ram. Click OK. See, the first thing as the category column having bikes, right? I want to replace bike with ram, so then definitely it is showing rams. See, the bike I'm going to replace with ram, so it is replacing with ram plus s, rams. Okay, column name we have to write down here. Okay, so this is the way you can write down the customized functions also. So you have to remember, whenever you are writing any customized function, you have to put code dot the function name, and where you can write down this one, report properties code here. Okay, and one more thing, whenever you are exporting this report into excel or pdf, whatever, if you want to adjust the uh, print sizes like landscape or portrait. See, for example, if you are previewing this one, instead of printing, I want to preview this one. See, the preview is coming like this way after you are printing, so that is coming like this way. Okay, right. So come to design, tools, so report properties. So if you want to take the landscape, the model is landscape, and if you want to size the width and height also, you can. So how to adjust the, how to fit a report inside one page, so these kind of things you have to adjust in the report properties tool. See, this is coming like this way. It is fitting in one page, all the columns are fitting in this page. Got it? That is landscape. Okay, right. So this is about the some of the functions and some of the features we have missed in the ssrs. And one more thing, so we have created some parameter, right? For example, so this is the category, right? So we'll see first. Delete this order here parameter. Okay, only category parameter I want to maintain. You can delete from here also. Okay, and I want to keep parameter values for this one also. Get values from here, name. Okay, yellow multiple value. Okay, we are previewing this one, so it is giving all these values. So at the same time, I want to create one more parameter for subcategory. This is the category parameter only, right? So I want to display subcategory parameter also. Okay, and where is the subcategory column is coming from? This column. in okay, just copy this one and paste over here. For subcategories, I want to create one data set. Select from this table. So try to put distinct. Okay, we don't want to duplicate values. Right, these are all the almost 37 subcategories. Okay, so this query I'm going to create here. This is subcategory parameters. Click OK. Right, for this subcategory I'm going to create allow multiple values, available values, get values from the query subcategory name. Okay, if you are previewing this one, so these are the bikes category. If you see here, it is displaying almost all the subcategories, 37 subcategories. So how can I select which subcategory belongs to bikes? Okay, here we have 37 subcategories. How you can show here the bike subcategory having how many subcategories? So my requirement is I want to cascade these subcategories based on the selection. For example, uh, this field this parameter is a country parameter. That means you are going to display all names of the countries: India, America, UK, Australia. So whenever you are selecting the country name as India, so in the this is a states. Okay, so I want to display in the drop down only the categories belongs to India only. Sorry, the states belongs to India only: Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. If you are selecting America, so I don't want to display these India's states. I want to display only America states. So these kind of reporting we are calling cascading reporting. Okay, so how to do this one? Whenever you are selecting this category value, parameter value, that has to filter this value. Okay, right, how to do this one? So if you observe in this table, there is product category ID column is there. Okay, so on this value I'm going to filter here. So if you want to filter like that way, you have to take the filter in product ID column only instead of name. Okay, right. So Control C, or else you can directly write down the statement like this way. See, it is giving all subcategories, right? So in this I'm going to filter where that pc dot name in at the rate of category. Okay, so this query I'm going to use for the data set of this subcategory parameter. Okay, so it is displaying that subcategory name the based on the filter, this one. Click OK. Okay, and always whatever the parameter, high level parameter, that you have to put in the highest, in the first priority. If you are putting like this way, it will give error. So what kind of error it is giving? See the value expression for the parameter category refers to non-existing. So always you have to put in the top. Preview it. The value expression for the query parameter. Okay. So I think we have written wrong case. We'll see what exactly. Okay. Value expression for the query parameter. Right. So in this situation, you have to go to parameters, okay, and use the this one. Click OK. Preview it. In the parameters, yes, you have to select the prop. Click OK. Okay. So if you are getting any kind of parameter related errors, just go to that particular data sets, okay, and come to parameters. See whether it is getting any red mark here or not. If you are getting red mark, go into the parameters and select the proper one. Okay, right. Preview it. So see, it is disabled right now. Once you are selecting value related to the bikes, then it will enable. See, only these three are belongs to these bikes. And if I am going to select only clothing, so it is displaying clothing related information. Select all. Okay, view report. The cascading report means, so this parameter is depending on the this parameter. Based on this selection, only this will display the values. Okay, right, come to report manager. Connect it. Report manager URL. Just open this one. So it's better to open in Internet Explorer, because sometimes these browsers are not compatible with Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox. Okay, so Internet Explorer is the default one. You can use that one. So this way you can display the information. Okay, right. So that is about our development and design of a report. So these are the data source and these are the reports we have used in the we have deployed in yesterday session. Okay, right. So the first thing what you have to do once you are deploying your data source and reports into this report manager, the first step should be you have to go to the data source connection. Okay, open this data source. So here you have to say credentials in the report server. Okay, so whatever the username and password would having access to connect to the data source and that particular database. Okay, right. So the next step is security. Okay, how to give the security for this particular site. Okay, you are the user, you are the administrator, you can log in and you can access all these reports, but if you want to give permissions to other people's, okay, if you want to give the permissions to other people's to access and to log into this site, how you can do? So the first we have to give the entire site level permission. Okay, site level permission, where you can give the site level security. So that we can give in the site settings here. See here, site settings. You just click on the site settings option. Okay, go to security. Okay, so here if you observe, already I have added my user ID. If you want to add a new person, yes, you can give this for example Bhavana. Okay, the username is Bhavana, then you can add the Bhavana name here. So what kind of privilege you are going to give Bhavana? She is a system administrator or a user. If you are giving the administrator, she can do anything and she will give permissions to other people also. For example, if you are giving just a system user means, so she is not the administrator, she can just log in and she can do some of the is properties, so view system properties, shared schedules, all these things. Okay, right. So a system administrator is always one or two, right? So for example, the clients wants to just preview the report and see the report, it just gives system user permissions, don't give more than this permission. Okay, it just click okay, that Bhavana will come here like how this is coming. Okay, these two people are system administrators. Okay, and so you have to give for the clients only system user privileges. Okay, right. So you have given the permissions for the site level, so you can log into the site. After that you have to give the permissions for folders. Okay, go to folder settings. So here you have to add the new rule assignment. Okay, so the same name Bhavana you have to add here. Okay, so what kind of privilege you are going to give here? See, browser, content manager, my reports, publisher, report builder. So if you are giving by default a system administrator, she can get all these privileges. If you are giving a system user permission, so you have to select what kind of privilege. each each role, what kind of role you are going to give it. For example, if you are selecting only browser, she can only view the reports, she can only subscribe the reports. Okay, the content manager is some having other privileges, like she can do something other more than she can uh, manage the content, my reports, this is one, and publisher and report builder. Okay, so these are the different roles. Based on your requirement, you have to give the role. So always you have to give the browser only for the clients and users, because they are just browsing the reports. Don't give any modifications and any deleting the permissions. If you are giving content manager all this, so it has some more privileges. Then why you are giving all this? A system administrator can have this one and all these privileges and all these rules. He can do anything. Okay, but Bhavana is the client. Okay, so we have to give only browser, she can browse the reports only. Okay, so then click OK, that's enough. And after you have given the folder setting permissions, so if you want to give inside for this folder also, for example this particular LBN reports folder, if you want to give any security, go to security here. So edit new item security, so new role assignment, so you have to add the Bhavana here also. Okay, so this way you can give the security level permissions first in the site level, then folder level, then report level also you can give, and inside any other folder you can give the permission to that particular folder also. If you want to give a particular report also you can give. See, for this matrix report I want to give the security for that particular persons only. So whatever the users you are adding for this report, so those people only can preview this report. Okay, for adding here, so that particular person only can preview the report, other persons can't execute this report. Okay, that is about the security in the report manager level. Okay. And we have deployed these reports by right clicking, go to solution explorer, right clicking and deploy, right? So instead of that you can do from here also, you can just upload the file. What is the file? .rdl file. In which folder you have saved this .rdl file? If you want to override the existing item, you can override also. Okay, so where is your .rdl files where you have saved? Sorry. So in this way you can say get the .rdl file, but so in this way you can do only one report at a time, right? So but in this here, if you want to do all one shot, you can deploy, it will deploy all the reports one shot. Okay, these are the two possible ways you can deploy a reports into report server or report manager. Okay, right. If you want to create a new folder, so how you can create? Go to folder settings. Sorry, so you just click the new folder. The folder name is my reports. If you want to write down the description, you can write down. See, my reports folder. In this folder I don't have any reports right now. So going forward, if you want to deploy the reports into that particular folder, so you just go to project, and here whenever you are deploying, so what is your target folder for the reports? So I want to use my reports folder. Okay, then immediately whatever the reports you are going to deploy here, that will come into that particular deployment folder. Okay, for example, if you want to deploy only this report, see, is deploying that report. Right, deployed successfully. You can see this report is coming. For example, if you want to move any of the report from one folder to another folder, how you can move this? So you just right clicking on this arrow mark, go to manage. Not this report, I will take another report. This report I want to move. Sorry, just click and click move. Into which folder you want to move that one? I want to move into my reports folder. Click OK. See, that report is moved into this folder, product info. If you want to create a new data source here, so already you have created a data source here, right? That you have directly deployed into this folder, right? So instead of getting the data source, if you want to create a new data source here, you can create the new data source here. What is your source and what is the connection information you have to specify here, okay, by using new data source option. Got it? Right. So now, for example, this product info table report, okay, the next step what we have to discuss is linked report, how to create a linked report and how to improve the performance SSRS report, okay, by using caching, snapshot, okay, and how to deliver report by using subscriptions. Okay, these are the things we are doing. Got it? So these things we will discuss in the tomorrow session. So tomorrow is the last session for SSRS.